Hey y'all, Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Today on the channel, we will be talking about a woman that unfortunately lost her life to one of her coworkers. She was a manager at McDonald's and she also was a single mom of six children. Okay, I do want us to get into Jennifer Harris's story. I want us to discuss it. So, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into the details here. I'm reading this article from Fox 32, and they're saying the manager of an East Point McDonald's who was stabbed to death on Thursday after getting into an argument with another employee has been identified as a single mom to six children. Jennifer Harris was 39 years of age, and she has been identified by her family as the McDonald's manager who was stabbed to death on Thursday morning. Imagine getting into work, top of the morning, and you don't even make it through the day. That is so devastating, and I really hate it for her children. Like, what was the reason? What was the reason? So they're going on to say Harris, who's also known as Jami, had been an employee of McDonald's for the past 15 years. 15 years. Okay. They're saying Michigan State said they were called to McDonald's on 9 Mile on a report of shots fired and a stabbing on that morning. They arrived and found a customer holding a weapon, and Harris had been stabbed. Okay. They're saying that she stabbed her a ton of times. And I want us to actually go ahead and check out some of the news reports regarding this situation to see if we can get additional details about it. So let us go ahead and get into that.
With an update to a breaking story we have been following the last few hours out of East Point, where police say an employee stabbing her own manager to death. This all happening inside a McDonald's on 9 Mile. That's where we find Fox 2's Camille Amiri joining us with the latest. Camille, a lot coming out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. We just spoke with the victim's daughter, who is absolutely beside herself. You're going to be hearing from her later today on our newscast, Fox 2 News at 5 o'clock. But first of all, let's break down what happened. And I think you've got some video that you can show. This was around 8 o'clock this morning here at the McDonald's in East Point on 9 Mile. There was some sort of verbal altercation between this manager and an employee who, incidentally, the daughter says they were friends, that they were friendly. The employee goes home, according to police, gets a knife, comes back, stabs the manager. We've learned her name is Jennifer Harris, 39 years old, six children, a single mom, working here for 15 years, wow. Stabs her to death. And then somebody in the drive-thru, this is happening in the area of where the employees are working in the drive-thru section of the fast food restaurant. Somebody going through the drive-thru, a CPL holder, sees everything happen. He shoots his gun in the air to try to stop everything. Unfortunately, he is not successful in doing so. But as the suspect is running out of the McDonald's, the police say that the man with the gun actually ran after her and held her at gunpoint until police arrived. She was arrested. Unfortunately, Jennifer Harris, 39 years old, died once she arrived at a hospital, multiple stab wounds. We did talk to an employee. Here's what she had to say about this horrible tragedy.
She left for 5 minutes. She came back with a mask on her face, and the only thing I seen was her hands. That's how I knew it was her. And she started stabbing her, and I ran for help, and basically asking everybody, like, help or whatever. I tried to stop her. It was no stopping her. She stabbed her everywhere.
Just an absolutely horrible situation. Again, coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, you'll be hearing from Jennifer Harris's oldest daughter. The family, these kids are ages 5 to 20.
That's what I wanted to know. What was the ages of the children? 5 to 20 years old. Girl, what could have been that bad that you needed to go down there to your job and stab the manager?
6 children altogether. They were here earlier, just moments ago, absolutely beside themselves, really not understanding any of this and why this happened. They said that their mom, they called her, everyone's nickname for her was Jama, that she got along with everybody. She always had a smile on her face, and that the suspect, they said, was always friendly to the children and giving them stickers and always laughing and smiling with them. So the family is having an incredibly hard time processing this. Of course, we're going to continue to follow the story, but that is the latest going on right now. Of course, that suspect in custody, also a female, 26 years old. Reporting live in East Point, Camille Neri, Fox 2 News.
Wow, y'all. There are more that I want us to get into. And let me see. Is this the one? Okay, yeah. So let us check out her arrangement. I'm sorry, her arraignment. Let me go ahead and get that up for you guys so that we can check that out as well.
Please approach for the swear to. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the information being provided is true and accurate to the best of your information, knowledge, and belief, subject to penalties of perjury?
I do.
Put your hand down. With regard to the defendant, Afani Muhammad, please set forth a factual basis for the warrant request.
Yes, Your Honor. 7/10/25, McDonald's employee Afeni Muhammad stabbed McDonald's manager Jennifer Harris multiple times with a kitchen knife at the McDonald's restaurant at 179219 Mile. Harris was not armed at the time and died of her injuries. Prior to the stabbing, Muhammad was sent home by Harris for not performing her work duties and told Harris, "I'll be back." Muhammad was arrested on scene and the knife was recovered. Muhammad admitted that she intended to kill Harris and stated that after she was sent home, she drove to a nearby park, decided to come back and stab Harris with a knife that she had inside of her vehicle. When Muhammad returned to stab Harris, she entered the back entrance with a hooded mask over her face in an attempt to conceal her identity and attempted to flee the scene after the stabbing, but was stopped by an armed customer.
And the requested charges are murder in the first degree, count 2, dangerous weapon carrying with unlawful intent, and there's a habitual second notice offense. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
The warrant is being signed, and we can proceed to arraignment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Calling file number 25354, People versus Afani Badu Muhammad. Counsel appearances for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sean Haygold on behalf of the people.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Please, this honorable court, Matthew McConaughey on behalf of Mrs. Muhammad, who does appear via Zoom.
Your name, please, ma'am.
Afeni Muhammad.
Very good. You're here today for arraignment on the charges of murder in the first degree, premeditated, count 2, carrying a weapon with unlawful intent, and a habitual second notice. Mr. Licata, how does your client wish to proceed?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. At this time, my client is asking the court to enter a not guilty plea. This matter set for a probable cause conference in the preliminary exam. I have advised my client of her rights, as well as the charges against her and the potential penalties. We are ready to proceed on those grounds.
Very good. Ma'am, do you understand the nature of the charges against you to your satisfaction after talking to your attorney?
Yes.
Very good. I will go ahead and enter a not guilty plea on your behalf.
Not
you
guilty. Are you okay? Are you okay, little girl? You're not. You're not. Not guilty when people saw you. You know what? I think she should go ahead and plead guilty. However, some part of me is like, good. I'm glad you sat up here and said not guilty. Because when they find you as guilty, the sentence ain't going to be that much more harsher. Because you just wasted everybody's damn time. Okay?
Yes.
I will appoint an attorney to represent you. We'll set this matter for a probable cause conference on July 23rd, 2025 at 1 p.m. The preliminary examination will be on July 30th, 2025 at 1 p.m. As to bond, Mr. Licata.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Just briefly, my client is 26 years old, does live in Great City at this point. Your Honor, my client is a high school graduate. In fact, is actually was taking some online classes for college for a physical therapy degree. Your Honor, there are some disturbing facts in this particular matter, but there are facts that haven't been brought out yet, and my client is extremely anxious to have those facts brought to light during the pendency of this case. She was in an extremely abusive relationship that was not only mental but physical, that involved alcohol issues, which is where the habitual second stems from, and her prior record. Your Honor, my client is a helpful person. She's a giving person. She's actually is credited with saving a life because of a 60-year-old who had skin cancer that she may go to the doctor to find out that that's exactly what it was. That person is doing extremely well right now. I understand the facts that have been laid out today in the warrant, but at this time, Your Honor, We are asking the court to consider a bond in this matter that is appropriate, that my client can meet.
Oh no, she ain't get no bond. She dangerous. Okay, because Miss Ma'am, that was given premeditated. She left and then she returned to the premises. Okay, Miss Ma'am is a dangerous individual.
So that she could meet with her attorneys and prepare her defense in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the people?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Pursuant to court rule, the court is well within its authority to grant no bond involving any case involving murder. In this case, we are requesting no bond for this defendant. Also provided within the court rules are certain factors for this court to consider when determining whether to grant any bond at all, and in this case, we are requesting no bond as I indicate. First of all, the court can consider whether or not this defendant is a threat to the community. She entered a public building with other individuals, other employees that were present. She produced a weapon that was a knife longer than 3 inches, and she stabbed the victim multiple times, up to possibly as many as 15 times, eventually causing her death. There were other employees that were present at the time, some of which attempted to help the victim after the stabbing occurred. That alone is enough to show that there is a threat to the community. She then ran from the building to her vehicle, presumably with the intent to flee from the scene. She was stopped by a helpful bystander. You're also able to consider the likelihood of conviction in this case, given the facts as laid out by Detective Showers and the information that the prosecutors have reviewed in order to charge this defendant. There is a very high likelihood of conviction. And then finally, the defendant does have a prior instance of at least one that I'm aware that involved a stabbing, similar obviously to the stabbing that occurred in this case involving a knife. So given all of those factors, and given the fact that this court does have authority to give no bond to defendants charged with murder, I am asking at this time for no bond in this case.
So she has a prior history of this? Is that what I heard? She has a prior history of doing some stuff like this before. Child.
Thank you, counsel.
That may not have resulted in death, but involved a knife. Girl.
The court has reviewed the charges and the circumstances surrounding this case. The defendant is facing various serious charges, including murder in the first degree, which is one of the most serious criminal offenses in our state, carrying penalties up to life without parole. Additionally, carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent further underscores defendant's potential threat to public safety. Defendant has a prior criminal record out of Virginia for malicious wounding. It was actually felony malicious wounding that was reduced to unlawful bodily injury concerning a stabbing, and that is what gives rise to the habitual second. And in determining bond, the court must look to the factors outlined in Michigan Court Rule 6.106. Number 1, the seriousness of the offense and the danger posed to the community. The charges here involved a violent crime with a weapon, indicating a substantial risk to the public. The court finds there is a significant threat to public safety, and therefore the bond must reflect that risk. Number 2, the weight of the evidence against the defendant. While the evidence is not fully before us and the defendant is cloaked with the presumption of innocence, the nature of the charges along with the prior criminal history suggests that there is substantial evidence against the defendant. Defendant's criminal history: the defendant has a violent criminal past. The history supports the court's concern that the defendant may engage in further violent conduct if she is released. The defendant's ties to the community: while the defendant is relatively young at 26 years of age, there's no indication that she has any significant stabilizing ties to the community that would ensure her return for court appearances. Without these ties, the court is concerned about the likelihood of flight. Number 5, defendant's risk of fleeing or failing to appear. Due to the severity of the charges and the habitual offender status, it makes the defendant a high risk for flight. The court finds that this factor weighs heavily in favor of a high bond amount. Substance abuse or mental treatment: although there are no reports at this time suggesting that the defendant suffers from mental health or substance abuse issues that would mitigate the risks posed by defendant's release, the court is, after considering all of these factors, going to be setting bond at $25 million, cash surety only, with conditions. If the defendant is able to meet those conditions, she must be on a GPS steel cuff tether. She's not to leave the state of Michigan. She is to report her address within 24 hours of she must report any change of address within 24 hours. There would be stringent daily contact with community corrections as to her whereabouts. She also would be required to have alcohol and drug testing as condition of her release. There would be no contact with the family of the decedent. Any witnesses: she is not to return to McDonald's. And if she is unable to post the $25 million bond, she will remain in custody pending further proceedings. And that concludes this matter for today. We will see you back here, ma'am, on July 23rd at 1 o'clock for your probable cause conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. She shouldn't have got no damn bond. I don't give a damn how much it was. In my personal, I don't think she should have got a bond, but I am glad that it was set so high that we know she's not going to be able to post it. Okay. What's that? 25 million. She would need to have what at least 250,000, I would think, to be able to post that. And even with that, she has tight restrictions, but she'll be in there for a minute. I just feel like if we're gonna set the bond that high to $25 million, then in my personal, I don't think that she should even have a bond, right? But I guess, right? I do want us to get into more because there are additional details. There are a few more news stories that I want us to check out with updates. So let us get into that.
$25 million. That's the bond set for the woman accused of fatally stabbing her manager at the East Point McDonald's. Good evening, everyone. I'm Taryn Asher.
And I'm Brandon Hudson. The 26-year-old made her first court appearance today, and we learned this isn't the first time investigators say that she stabbed someone. Fox News' Camila Miri has the latest.
26-year-old Afeni Muhammad in court Friday afternoon, charged with first-degree murder. East Point police say Muhammad fatally stabbed her manager, 39-year-old Jennifer Harris, inside the McDonald's where they both worked on 9 Mile Thursday morning.
Prior to the stabbing, Muhammad was sent home by Harris for not performing her work duties and told Harris, "I'll be back."
2 days before the stabbing, Muhammad posted a video on her Instagram, which is public. This is a small portion of that video.
But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early? It's not funny.
We're going to get into her.
Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny.
Investigators say the suspect stabbed Harris several times inside the drive-thru portion of the fast food restaurant. A customer, a CPL holder, was in his car and witnessed the crime. Authorities say he shot his gun in the air, attempting to stop the violence. When the suspect ran out of the restaurant, the CPL holder held her at gunpoint until police arrived.
Muhammad admitted that she intended to kill Harris and stated that after she was sent home, she drove to a nearby park, decided to come back and stab Harris with a knife that she had inside of her vehicle.
Harris, a single mother of 6 and a longtime McDonald's employee, was pronounced deceased at a nearby hospital. Meanwhile, the prosecutor revealing this in court about Muhammad.
The defendant does have a prior instance of at least one that I'm aware that involved a stabbing, similar obviously to the stabbing that occurred in this case, involving a knife.
That prior stabbing occurred in Virginia. Muhammad's attorney arguing
she was in an extremely abusive relationship that was not only mental but physical, that involved alcohol issues, which is where the habitual second stems from, and her prior record.
The judge set Muhammad's bond at $25 million, cash surety only. She will be back in court on July 23rd for a probable cause hearing. In East Point, Camila Miri, Fox 2 News.
That's so freaking sad. That is just so sad. And y'all, I understand what the man is trying to say as far as the girl being in a abusive relationship, but I really question it. Okay, I definitely question it. Because it seems like she may have had some things going on mentally with her, as a few people, I believe there was a video that was over on TikTok showing her kind of like spazzing. Well, I said that word again. Showing her kind of out of herself, okay? But let us go ahead and get into, where is it? I want us to get into her social media real quick. So let's hop back over here and get into these videos that they said was posted. Girl, what is this? I don't know, honey. This is her page. Is this the video where she was kind of going crazy a bit?
I'm just sitting at this park right now. I wanted I had to talk to my neighbor Wayne again and like clear up everything with him, because how I said how like he always like he always like look at me a certain way or something, and I told him that like I don't want to have sex. I told him that. So it's like
she cut off her comments.
Eat or something if I didn't make anyone on Instacart. I get that, but I told him like I don't want him thinking that that I owe him that just because he do that for me sometimes. I want him to think that I owe him sex. So now like After I told him that, it's like he's been crying and crying and telling me he think I use him.
It took a long time for me to process this awful experience that I have faced while trusting to rent a room with a rent partner, someone I didn't know but needed somewhere to live. Okay, so it seems like she may have been troubled for some time. Yeah, not sure what she had going on. And maybe she took everything out on the lady. I'm not sure, but let's check out what she had to say.
I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, you know, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got shit I gotta take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games. And then all day, throughout the day, she keeps sending her little racial shit. And then throughout the day, she keeps on, like, putting negative energy in the air, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's not funny, man. That shit gonna have to stop. She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She brings a lot of negative energy in there. She always panic when there's a lot going on, and then she try to manipulate that and make it seem like we ain't doing something right, but we are working really hard and doing great. It's just the fact that she panicked, and I caught her a few times making a mistake, and she tried to hurry up and play it off. You know, nobody's perfect. It's fucking McDonald's. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, somebody might get confused. So fuck, it gets busy, yeah. But she needs to stop playing like she don't be making mistakes. I be catching her. So all that animosity and shit that she keep putting in the air and stuff, then trying to tell me I'm always snapping on people. No, that's false. No, I don't snap on people. I don't go in there doing that. I tell her, no, I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace. So all that negative energy that she's bringing in there and trying to manipulate it, no, that's going to stop. All that negative shit she's saying about, you know, her personal life, all of that. No, she's bringing all of that in there. And then playing games saying she want to take her belt off and beat somebody. Y'all act like my kids in here. No, we ain't your kids. Respect us. Stop talking to us like that. That shit is crazy. I'm telling you. But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So
I would think if I am continuing to be sent home on multiple bases, my reaction is not to go, and everybody's different, but my reaction, and I would think more people like me, reaction is not to go and stab, kill their manager. Is to let me find another job. Let me not show back up in this mug. How about that? Okay, since I'm doing such a terrible job, then let me see how it's looking when I ain't here for real. Right?
you know, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that shit is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't. I got sent home early yesterday. Then one day she coming in there talking about some, yeah, I broke my door in half and I had to pull my gun out on my kids since this and that. Well, you know, telling us that, like, the fuck you telling us you pulled a gun out on your kids for? You sound like a fucking psychopath. That's what I wanted to tell her. She was talking about some, she blacked out. I'm like, yeah, you must have had blacked out if you pulled the gun out on your kids. Like, you know, like, I'm like, what the fuck you telling me this for? Like, she thinks she's, like, trying to make it seem like that she big dog or some shit. Give a fuck about you telling me about you pulling the gun out on a kid. I don't fucking, like, that shit doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? That shit doesn't scare me. If she thought she was trying to intimidate me, that shit didn't intimidate me at all. I don't give a fuck about her telling me about what the fuck she did. You know, and maybe that's why they always fighting her, to defend themselves. They probably felt like their life was threatened. The fuck out of here with that.
So she's saying her children were fighting her and felt like their life were threatened. I'm wondering more so why she felt she needed to even tell you that, to even feel like she needed to intimidate you of some factor, right? I don't know if that was her personality. I don't know if this young lady did something to where she needed to let her know, don't try me. You may have tried other folks, but don't try that with me. I don't know.
Shit. Then one day she coming in there and talking.
And you know, when she finally get on the stand, first of all, it's the not guilty for me when you know for a fact that you were the one that killed her. That's one. You left the building, then came back, stabbed her, then tried to flee the building. All of that doesn't, you know, flee the scene. All of that doesn't look good. But also, I mean, should she have a trial, there will be some jurors that might feel like, oh, I've been in her shoes before, to where, you know, I've had it up to here with the manager, so much so that I wanted to snap them up out of here. I mean, some people may be able to relate. They might feel conflicted. I don't know if she's going to try to at some point plead to some insanity case or whatever. But for me, I just feel like like, girl, at the end of the day, it never had to go that far. In my opinion, you could have and should have just went and likely found another job. Girl, what is this dead bird you got going on? Why is you holding a...
Y'all cars are done. Everybody don't deserve to be happy. The fuck I'm like trying to please everyone, and I watch y'all all doubt me. Chuck E. Cheese is the right I used to want it to be, until my lava cake enlightened me that I'm still the king of the sea.
Chuck E. Cheese is who I want it to be. Are you okay? Nah, and maybe she's not saying Chuck E. Cheese, but she's saying Chucky because that's why she keeps putting that image on her face with all the slices. She got a stabbing issue. Period. And this right here underneath her name is the song that's playing, so it looks like it's her song. And then why is you carrying a dead bird? Like, did you kill the bird? Like, I don't know. It's giving very not my type of person. I would like to hop over here on the TikTok and just check out a few clips real quick.
Videos of Afeni, and it further proves that this was just bound to happen. This girl was losing it and posting it online. Look at this.
Girl.
Yeah, it stays at home though. I'm not gonna bring this to work because that wouldn't look right, I guess.
Yeah, she was gonna do this sooner or later. And y'all, this is allegedly how she walked in when she went to stab her manager. Her coworker said that they only knew it was her because they could still see her hands. And then here she is again. Seems like she's in the ER talking about stabbing somebody again.
Just kind of like went over the line at this point. Like he handed me the knife and told me that he told me to kill him. And then I said, "You can kill yourself. Like you're crazy." Like I don't know if I should have said it like that, but that's just like what I said at the moment because it's like. I'm like, you know, I was like, "You're crazy, you need help, fuck you." That's what I told him. And then I had walked away. But it's like, everything is fine now and stuff, but I think that kind of triggered my anxiety attack. Because when I woke up this morning, I started having anxiety.
Just looking at her videos alone, you can kind of tell that allegedly she had something going on mentally, and Jennifer was just her last straw, and she snapped. So I found some more videos of
yeah, that's definitely what that's given. I want to get into this comment over here that you guys likely can't see. But the person says, y'all really need to wake up. I have been bullied, singled out, my hours cut, and even yelled at in front of everyone by some of my past managers. Never in my life have I ever even had one single thought about ever harming them, let alone murdering them. It is clear that this girl has something severely wrong with her, but I will never feel sympathy for a murderer. She committed a stabbing back in 2022. She clearly holds no remorse. I really do question, was her manager really bullying her, or do we only have her word? Y'all are using her mental state as an excuse, but if it's going to be an excuse, can we really even trust her word? Maybe I just have no sympathy, but I find it hard to sympathize with someone who did this multiple times, let alone to all. And you know, I feel like earlier when I was, girl, that's crazy. So earlier when I was on her page, she had maybe like 12,000, right? Other day, come here, she had 15 point something thousand. Within just a few minutes of me being on her page, it has grown by a few hundred of people, 16,000 people following her. And this is what gets on my fucking nerves about Americans. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of y'all don't be about the shit that y'all talk about high key. Okay, not y'all, but them. And for me, it's like y'all love rewarding bad fucking behavior all because, oh, I had a manager that I didn't like and my manager did this, that. And if you sympathize with her on that level, my question to you is, but did you stab their ass? Now, you might have whooped that ass. Like, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? But did you murder them? Did you kill them? Did you unalive this person? Or did you go and you found you another fucking job? So don't tell me nothing about trying to sympathize and understand where she coming from and all this and that if you are not sitting in the same position as her. Maybe I'll take that from a motherfucker that's locked up for the rest of their damn life for unaliving their manager, and they're going to use her situation as a way to justify their own actions. But for me, scoot back up off me with that bullshit, all right? But let me check out a little more over here on the TikTok.
Calling file number.
Okay, so that is we just got into that part.
So I don't have to listen to you doing this, and you're interrupting my music call on my phone. Please leave me alone.
She was troubled. She was a troubled young lady.
Stop fucking with me!
The fact that, like, I don't know, because I was going to say the fact that she even needed to rent a room from somebody may have been a situation where people don't want to deal with her because of what she has going on. But then at the same time, maybe that wasn't her own fault. Maybe she could have, lost some family or something like that, needed to rent a room, and maybe circumstances and things that happened to her led her down this road of, battling things mentally with herself. But
I was wrongfully treated today at work. I was literally physically tapped on a lot of times. My name kept getting called. I was doing a great job. I kept getting sabotaged, tempted, so my button can get pressed and I can go out of character. So although I went out of character, all I could say was stop talking to me. That's all I could say. Stop talking to me. And to walk into my space, still bothering me, and I said, get away from me. Please get out of my space if you don't mind. I can't talk right now, and you still continue to touch me. That made me very unhappy. It was ridiculous. Because I know that I'm a great person, and I know I won't be tolerating that. So since they decided to bully me, let the universe show them what's next. Because it wasn't right.
a lot of people like to use the term bully in an effort to, again, justify their actions or feel like, oh, my response was warranted because I feel like I'm being quote unquote bullied, when the whole time your ass probably was the bully. Again, one of these comments says she was a manager for 15 years with 0 write-ups. The killer stabbed someone in 2022 at Taco Bell. So is this the previous altercation that took place where her court-appointed attorney sat up there and tried to say, oh, well, this situation happened because she was in a very abusive relationship? I guess that's the information she told him without him doing his research. The person goes on to say she changed her name. She got sent home twice because she wouldn't stay off her phone. But y'all gonna blame the victim. Typical. Child, the way they over there growing her following is fucking crazy. Knowing that she's behind bars, I can't. Y'all gonna do with this what y'all will. Y'all are gonna do with this what y'all will, but yeah, I can't rock with this. Yeah, like she needs to, and the not guilty for me is crazy. Knowing that you stabbed that lady and they held you at the scene. The person that was shooting the gun in the air literally held you at the scene. And you still want to sit up here and plead not guilty with all those witnesses? You want to say not guilty is fucking insanity to me. Okay. I really send all of my condolences, and prayers over to this woman's family. A manager for 15 years with 0 write-ups. This is going to be a very tough time for her children. 6 kids. Their father is incarcerated, from my understanding. Their mother is now no longer here. From 5 years of age to 20. So now the 20-year-old may have to step up in ways that they never expected to. to show up for the younger siblings in an effort to try to keep everybody from being split up. Hopefully they do have some family that can show up and support them as well. But this is going to be a real tough time for this family, all because of somebody else's stuff they got going on. I'm so sorry. So sorry that happened. So senseless when you could have just moved on and found you another job. A person that was troubled on the inside that needed to inflict that on somebody else. But y'all leave your thoughts and comments down below about the matter at hand. I'm Jami, that's me. Be sure to like up the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim, putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can fill a pool, we go